This hour has 22 minutes. Smash Bits 97 is a satirical examination of daily events. Some viewers may not share this sense of humor.
J.B. Dixon on location in the one place that every man in Canada wants to be. And here comes the limousine, and here she is, the ever so graceful and beautiful Miss Canada International. Good evening and welcome to the best of 22.
Tonight, for your listening and dancing pleasure, we've assembled some of our favorite numbers from last year.
It's all pre-taped. Right now, I'm sipping a daiquiri in Cuba.
Well, ain't life grand? Hank, roll that clip.
Shoppers in England's Piccadilly Circus were greeted with a disturbing image on its giant electronic billboard this past week. An English animal rights group has paid to have an anti-stealing message broadcast every hour on the hour throughout the entire Christmas season. In the interest of goodwill and the Christmas spirit, a group of Canadians have paid to broadcast their own message, which reads, "Save the mad cow, but get her picture off our money." In response to the boycott of Canadian products by the English, Canadians have considered boycotting British products, but plans were called off when they realized that the British don't make anything worth buying, let alone worth boycotting.
It's so nice to be back on the desk, but, you know, during my time off, I was working on a romance novel, and I just want to read the opening for you, okay? As Boris made his way to where Yasser was standing, his newly repaired heart seemed as though it would burst. Although the Russian tyrant had never confessed his love for the coy and tantalizing Yasser, words seemed oh so unnecessary. Yasser kissed him firmly, again and again. Finally, when Boris was dizzy with kisses, Yasser held him tightly. "I'll never let you go," Yasser said, and for the first time, Boris felt safe.
Last week, the Bloc Québécois showed off its leadership candidates, one of whom they hope will lead Quebec to independence. As separatist candidates took turns explaining their strategies, Ottawa unleashed a new secret weapon, the no pill. The pills were dissolved in the drinking water of Bloc Québécois MPs with surprising results. Leadership candidate for the yes side, Gilles Duceppe, had this response when asked how he would vote in the next referendum.
No.
Separatist forces were initially thrown into disarray, but now say that once they work out a few technical problems, they will be ready to fight back with their own secret weapon, the yes suppository.
Canada's Asian trade mission ended on a sour note last week as New Brunswick Premier Frank McKenna was accused of being too aggressive.
An angry Manitoba Premier Gary Filmon told reporters that McKenna not only solicited foreign businesses, but encouraged companies from other provinces to move to New Brunswick. However, McKenna's most brazen act was when he surprised BC Premier Glenn Clark by groping him during a press conference.
McKenna defended his unwelcome advances, saying that he was merely keeping up a tradition begun by former New Brunswick Premier Richard Hatfield.
In the time of a new millennium of deficit cutters and demagogues, a land in turmoil cried out for a hero. She was Marg, princess warrior, iron-willed, true of heart, vaccinated with a gramophone needle. Her vocal, relentless quest for justice would save the universe. Marg, she could talk a dog off a meat truck.
Mike Harris, Marg Delahunty, this hour is 22 minutes, and Princess Warrior. No, and again, no, that's what they seem to be saying. Now, you know me, I'm not one to accentuate the negative, but that's what they're saying. Now, one thing they're not saying is they're not calling you and your cohorts Satan's spawn. They're not saying that you're some kind of heartless, demonic, vicious, authoritarian Philistine. Oh, no, let me reassure you that it's still a Mike Gippeloos out there. Most of the Ontario voters still believe that the sun, the moon, and the chevron sign shine right out of your back passage. God help them. All they're saying is, slow down. Where's the fire? You know, why not carry on with all those election promises to cruelly harass the poor and the powerless? Now, Mike, I'll tell you, the people have spoken. If you ignore it, it's at your peril. What I want you to do is I want you to go in there and I want you to do the right thing. And I'm telling you, Mike, don't make me come back and smite you. Because I will, my darling, I'll smite you. I'll grind you under my warrior's heel utterly and finally. Now, it's nothing personal, Mike, because let's face it, you are kind of cute for a premier. But it is my job, for I am Marg, Princess Warrior!
It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. So let's go out on the land and check in with Joe Crow.
Joe Crow here, eh? Listening to the heartbeat of the great Mother Earth. Sounds like a Gene Krupa drum solo, eh? Joey, she says to me, start the new year out on the right hoof. She thinks I'm a moose, I guess. She says, tell people who don't know their way around the woods, Joey, to stay home. And if you do find yourself lost in the woods, don't lie down in the snow. Oh, sure, it's a great sleep, but it's hard to wake up when you're frozen stiffer than Preston Manning at a gay pride parade. And if you do get stuck in the woods, keep in mind that the animals will not come to your rescue like in a Disney cartoon. The most a fox can do for you is maybe chew a hole in your boot while you're waiting for the search party. And keep an eye out for real moose, too, eh? The moose is a powerful and randy animal. It's not like when the dog humps your leg, eh? It's a lot more dramatic. But for those of us with 2 clues and a compass, being out here with the standing people is a powerful reminder of who we are and where we come from. It's quiet, eh? It makes you think. Like right now I'm thinking, whoa, it's cold, eh? You could freeze your bugle off out here, eh? It also makes me think about the year ahead. You know, these are dark days for many of our people, but I believe things will get better. Because I had a vision, eh? Reflected in the water. At first I thought, it's just my contact lenses. But no, it was a vision of a stream of swindlers in suits being driven out of Ottawa and replaced by people who weren't quite so short-sighted or annoying. No more bickering about who lied about the GST or about dividing up lands that didn't even belong to them, eh? I believe this vision, because not believing it is way too hard. What's that? Oh, sorry, Mom. She says, give it a rest, Joey. You're standing on my neck. She's not in a very good mood, eh? PCBs make you cranky. Well, that's it, eh? Have a great new year, eh? And until next time, skidoo careful, eh? Joey, all the Princess people got, hey, 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 hey. Never brought to mind, hey, hey.
Well, as everyone is quite aware, Brian Mulroney's $50 million lawsuit against the Canadian government has been settled, and not in the government's favor. We speak now to the 2 investigators in charge of the Airbus investigation. Gentlemen, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Special Investigator Ed Cochran. Special Investigator Ed Codner. The Special Eds.
Gentlemen, the case fell apart due to RCMP bungling. What do you have to say for yourselves?
All in all, a job well done.
Top notch all the way.
But the Prime Minister is reported to be very angry. He said he will be dealing with both of you personally.
Oh, he already did. Now, we got a promotion. He also said to continue the investigation full steam ahead.
The Airbus investigation?
Oh, he doesn't care what we investigate as long as when we're finished, we slap a few more charges against Brian Mulroney.
What kind of charges?
Oh, anything at all. Public nuisance, loitering, drunk and disorderly, peeping Tom.
And he said he'd really like it if we could get Mila for shoplifting a magic bag from Kmart.
Do you have proof?
No.
No, my God, no.
Proof?
Oh, sure, you don't need proof.
No. After we haul their names to the mud, we'll be more than happy to pay their legal bills and apologize.
I don't understand.
Well, look, we made this man's midlife miserable for over a year.
Yes, he was hounded by the media.
Oh, he was yelled at in the streets.
Yeah, made to look like a great big moron.
All for the low price of $1 million.
That's a lot of money.
Go on, it's not.
Sure, 25 million Canadians, that's less than 4 cents each.
Well, you're saying you wouldn't pay 4 cents to make Mulroney look the moron?
You can't buy that kind of entertainment.
If you wanted to go out for entertainment to, say, a club, you're looking at a $4 cover charge.
And look at the work it created.
Oh, the overtime for journalists, political pundits, the Fifth Estate, Rex Murphy. I mean, the government gets all that back in taxes.
We made a profit.
And when I looked at the joy on the face of the average Canadian when this story blew, and they thought there for a brief, shining moment that Mulroney was going to jail. I get right emotional.
Come on, that's all right. Shh, come on, let me rock you.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time, and good luck with the Peeping Tom investigation.
Oh, yeah, and just for the record, you didn't hear that from us.
Oh, no, that's Mulroney's crowd leaking that story.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
History was made in Scotland last week as scientists announced they had cloned a mammal from tissue obtained from an adult animal. Response to Dolly, the cloned sheep, has been mixed. Her cute, cuddly looks have won her many admirers, but others fear the scientific breakthrough could allow for human DNA to be misused. The scientist in charge of the project assures the public that could never happen. We go now to Scotland for a live interview with the man behind Dolly, Dr. Duncan McTavish. Dr. McTavish, what assurances can you give us that this technology won't be misused for horrific human experiments?
CPAC, the Canadian Parliamentary Affairs Channel, has been getting a lot of attention lately, most recently in Alberta, where they broadcast the every move of some provincial candidates as they canvassed key neighborhoods. Many people have said the service was vital in their decision-making process leading up to the election.
Yeah, we're very excited about this riding in particular because all our polls indicate that we're going to take this one. Yeah. Hi, Dan Small, grade 9 geography teacher. Also a founding member of the Geography Teachers Association. And your NDP candidate. And how many voters live in this house exactly? No.
Get away from that house! Oh, look at the stand up there, legs on it! Oh my God! You're dirty little bum! I get my head! Get off the street! Oh my God! Look at this! Go! I tell you go! Yes, go with it! Oh, yeah, where may you climb the tree? Oh, where the decent God-fearing NDP on this street! You have to look at that!
So Canada's last living Liberal, Lloyd Axworthy, went to Cuba this week, and good for him. It's supposed to be very nice down there this time of the year. Actually, I'm thrilled he went, because the thoughts of a Canadian cabinet minister sitting down having din-din with Fidel Castro has the Americans so angry they don't know whether to swallow or to spit. Now, Lloyd says that he and Fidel discussed increasing trade and human rights. Well, I say we go one better. Take a page from Lucien Bouchard's book, Discuss Sovereignty Association. Not between Canada and Quebec. No. Between Canada and Cuba. It's a match made in heaven. We could call it Canuba. Because think about it. Canuba actually sounds more Canadian than Canada does. Now, granted, there's a few bugs that need to be worked out, like we're the true north, strong and free, and Well, they're neither. But hey, Canadians love a beach. And we have a lot to offer Cuba. We're already their largest trading partner. We have a strong currency. We're in NAFTA. And we actually believe in universal health care. But the best thing is, on the pissing off America scale, this would be like a 10. And it wouldn't even matter. Because when they got upset, we could say, shut up. We got you surrounded.
Arizona jail has begun a new program of prisoner surveillance with cameras mounted on the heads of specially trained German shepherds. A spokesperson for the prison told reporters, quote, "You'd be surprised how many times a dog cleans himself in the run of a day."
This Hour Has 22 Minutes is proud to present media pundits Stuart Steed and Steve Steele with The Right Answer. Men, we salute you.
Okay, let's start it all off with Audrey McLaughlin has announced that she will retire.
Which begs the question, what did she do? The story of the Avro Arrow. The CBC says the miniseries taught Canadians something important.
Yes, the Dan Aykroyd gained 100 pounds. Former LA Kings owner and business partner of Wayne Gretzky gets over 5 years in prison.
Hell, who was his lawyer? Alan Rock? Aboriginal groups in PEI want the name of the Confederation Bridge changed to Abagwit.
Hey, a quick lesson in economics. You don't spend $1.4 billion building something called an Abagwit. Colombian mother forced to sell her house after her son runs up a $16,000 phone sex bill in just 1 year.
Hey, boo-hoo! If I could keep my phone sex bill down to 16 large, I'd be happy. Paula Jones charges President Bill Clinton with sexual assault. Says she can accurately describe what the president's genitalia look like.
Wow, I'm just going out on a limb here, but I'm guessing 2 balls and a dick. The Liberal government announces it will deport high-profile war criminals from Canada.
Enough is enough. These allegations against Brian Mulroney have got to stop. Bruce Willis to be paid $20 million to play a cop who meets an autistic child.
Well, he should know what that's like. Every morning he has breakfast with Demi Moore. Mother Teresa steps down as head missionary after 47 years, but says there is still much work to be done.
Isn't that typical?
She can't finish what she started.
She could talk the talk, but she couldn't walk the walk.
47 years in the missionary position.
Sounds like my ex-wife.
I like it.
You got it.
And that's the right answer.
This is not a bran muffin. This is a cranberry bran muffin. See?
Take the cranberries out.
No. You don't understand. You see, the cranberries, the juice from the cranberries leaks into the muffin meat. You see that it flavors the entire muffin. See, I can't eat that. Can't eat that.
Take it back.
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 Why should I take it back?
Sorry to interrupt, but Artie's on the phone. He's looking for either Hank or Larry.
The following is a free-time political broadcast. On behalf of the Newfoundland Separation Federation, Jerry Boyle.
Hello, I am Jerry Boyle. People say, what did you learn in 1996, Jerry? Well, one lesson I recall would be if you are trying to win a televised debate, do not threaten your opponents with a pointed stick. People ask me, what will Jerry Boyle's New Year's Eve be like? Will he be semi-formal, wearing black tie, or semi-conscious with a black eye? But on a serious note, I was planning on bringing in the new year with my ex-wife. However, her present to me this year came in the form of a peace bond, which prohibits me from walking on her property, sleeping in her lawn shed, or spending time in any of her trees. I would now like to announce my candidacy for the top job in the land. That would be Prime Minister. Or if that job wasn't available, any kind of shift work or night watchman, my hours are very flexible. Hence, my new campaign slogan, vote for Jerry Boyle. His hours are very flexible. So, my friends, as I decide to take off the gloves and throw my hat in the ring, I am reminded of one thing. Lost, one men's hat and glove set bright green. And in the words of my grandfather, heavy the head that wears the lampshade. So remember, in 1997, if you can mark an X on the cell wall of the St. John City lockup or on the back of a pension check to bail me out on New Year's Day, you're my kind of people.
This hour has 22 minutes, has obtained exclusive, authentic, fully verified and magnified home movie footage from the mid-50s of what is clearly Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth II engaged in an erotic dalliance with none other than former British Prime Minister Sir Winston Churchill, giving brand new meaning to the term the horsey set.
Canadian peacekeepers are on standby tonight as a conflict between warring factions in the House of Commons seems destined to end in bloodshed. On one side of the conflict, Reform Party Deputy Leader Deborah Gray. On the other, Junior Liberal Minister Ethel Blondin Andrew. This past week, the level of hostility between these two combatants reached a boiling point. After the initial skirmish, hopes for a ceasefire vanished. Later, Ethel Blondin cooled down by picking yet another fight, this time with the media.
And I think you did a shitty story.
And Deborah Gray blew off steam in the only way she knows how.
After announcing the Reform Party's new policy, Preston Manning took to the road in what looked like the start of an election campaign.
From his office within the party's Fresh Start bus, Manning toured southern Ontario and directed the campaign aimed at drumming up support for reform and its new platform.
Liberals in Ottawa have a new party whip. The Honourable Don Boudria, who held the position, has entered the Liberal cabinet, so a new whip has been appointed. We do not have his name, but 22 Minutes has obtained this footage. Many are comparing the new whip to Defence Minister Doug Young because of their similar no-nonsense, take-control, domineering nature.
Things change. When I was 6, I ate an eraser. It made me sick. Now, I'm used to the taste. When I was a kid, I used to throw a rock like a girl. Now I throw a rock like a woman. When I was a kid, I used to walk funny, and I needed expensive braces. So I asked the bank for a loan, and they said, no, right to my face. So I went to a loan shark, and they broke my legs, and now I walk perfect. Can a bank change?
We're N-Banks. We no longer say no right to your face. We say no with the computer.
Everyone is talking about dating, so let's check in with one wise woman who has seen it all, the lovely Mrs. Enid.
My God, just when you thought it was safe to show them your size a million bloomers, They come out with a foolish-looking book called The Rules. It's about how to fool a fella into thinking you aren't who you are, and you don't want what you do want, which is what you don't want him to know you want, and how to pretend he's the reason why. Criminy. You got to ask yourself, is that dating or Scientology? Gentle mother coming home from the wake. Why would anyone want to spend all their time scheming to get some foolish-looking fella who can't handle you, warts and all? Granted, when I was younger, I thought it was grand fun to make up a personality. But you got to be careful acting like plasticine, because the wind could change, my love. And then boom, just like that, you're stuck with a foolish-looking grimace on your face and a whole face full of old makeup. And if you're gonna go around sucking in your gut, holding up your head, sticking out your chest, and putting up your tush for some schmo who doesn't really know who you really are, well, oh, what a tangled web we weave, even if it does end up at the altar. A wedding day is only one day, my darling, and then it's down to the business of living. The rules. These women got to be so embarrassed about who they really are to be making up this kind of old baloney. It's dangerous. Some foolish fella could see that and think, yes, that's the ticket. I'll just take her easy and let her hop, skip, and jump around trying to figure out what I want. I'll send roses every couple of months, and I'm in like Flynn. Well, as the old saying goes, friends don't let friends live stunned. Well, they say men love a challenge. Well, challenge this. We're real. We fart. We're hot. We're cold. We make money and we call back whenever we like. Anyone who's got time to do the rules doesn't have time to get a life. I've been happy for a long time. My husband never sent me flowers, but he worked like a horse. He was steady like a horse. And I don't know, something else I was going to tell you about a horse.
The ozone hole over the Antarctic may soon set the record as being the world's biggest. This is the first year that the world's biggest hole will not be a head of state.
Hello, hello, hello. I am Jerry Boyle. People say, where are you today, Jerry? Well, this must be London, England, and that would certainly explain Buckingham Palace. I tried to get a room last night, but they refused both me and my Canadian Tire money. Jerry Boyle is on a mission to spread my party's message and avoid Corrections Canada at the very same time. Ah, the double-decker bus. Large, traditional, with lots and lots of wind. Not unlike Flora MacDonald. First stop, the BBC, home to free-spirited political debate. And hopefully some kind of hot buffet. I know her.
Hello, I am Jerry Boyle.
Go away, Jerry, please.
Mrs. Conrad Black, Barbara Emile said please. I am smitten.
Hello, good evening and welcome. And tonight we welcome the internationally unknown Jerry Boyle. Good evening.
Hello, I am Jerry Boyle.
Goodbye, BBC. I caused a sensation and was roughed up by security. Phase 1 completed. Phase 2, try to get directions to the Prime Minister's house from a friendly face on the street. She's kind of pretty, in a Princess Margaret kind of way. Downing Street, where Winston Churchill bathed and smoked cigars, just like Deborah Gray. Watch this. Liquor inspector. Number 10 Downing Street, home to Prime Minister John Major, the most powerful man in Britain. Not to be confused with Lee Majors, the most powerful man on television. Me? Over there? Ah, the London Bobby. So similar to the Newfoundland Constabulary in thought, action, and deed. Phase 4. A tour of minimum security prisons and mental institutions. Cheerio.
Hello, Amanda. Amanda, why
darling little
I am on the verge of a brilliant new invention. It is a vehicle that will be steered by skis in front of a track drive. I call it the Ski-Doo.
Why not? Just once, a little petit machine for fun.
The design genius of Bombardier and the helpful suggestions of his wife changed forever the way people enjoy the Canadian wilderness. The Sea-Doo, a distinct part of our Canadian heritage.
When you walk around Washington, D.C., you can't help but be in total awe of the place. It is the epicenter of the last great superpower left standing. And boy, do they know it. But we should feel proud of them, happy for them, because America is our neighbor, our ally, our trading partner, and our friend. And sometimes you'd like to give them such a smack. But we can't. If we tried, let's face it, they would kill us. And therein lies the problem. Pierre Trudeau said it was a lot like a relationship between an elephant and a mouse. And Brian Mulroney, to give him the benefit of the doubt, felt that Canada could influence America more from the inside. Therefore, he devoted most of his time in public life to trying to figure out a way to get the mouse up inside the elephant. And let's face it, that is a period in our country's history we'd all like to forget. So what are we going to do? Well, for starters, we have to start thinking differently. We have to erase this whole elephant-mouse analogy from our minds. America is not an elephant. For one thing, we're bigger than they are. And elephants never forget, whereas Americans don't really know much to begin with. 90% of them can't even pick out their own hometowns on an unmarked map. And they have absolutely no sense of history. I mean, all the ones I've met down here, none of them have any idea that in 1814 a crowd from Halifax marched into Washington and burnt the whole bloody west wing of the White House, boom, right to the ground. You know, maybe that's our role in this whole thing. Maybe our role is to remind them of the little things like that, over and over and over again. And then, if they get mad with us, well, we'll just have to take our name off the map and feel safe in knowing that they will never find us.
15-year-old David Wood may soon be walking barefoot in the snow if his mom can't buy him winter boots. It's not money they lack, it's material. David's feet are size 18 and still growing. David said he isn't embarrassed by his big feet, but can't understand why so many women suddenly want to take him to dinner.
Burton Pugach hired thugs to throw lye in the eyes of a woman he loved because she would not marry him. After serving 14 years for that crime, the woman he rendered blind agreed to be his wife. Now, years later, he has been jailed again, this time for threatening to kill his mistress. And his blind wife has just bailed him out of prison. They join us now from their home in New York City. Hello and welcome. Now, I must ask you, Mrs. Pugach, why do you stay with this man?
Now, all anyone talks about is the time he hired those guys that throw acid in my eyes. No one ever talks about the good stuff he does. Like the other day, this was so sweet. He was going to the fridge for a beer, and he goes, Linda, do you want one? And I know he only had a couple of beers left.
I share my last beer with you, baby.
But you see, isn't he scrumptious?
Not the adjective that I would have gone for. Now, sir, what do you have to say for yourself?
Well, it ain't easy being with her. I gotta do all the driving.
Yeah, that's true. And last year we went to Santa's village.
Linda, he hired men to throw acid in your eyes.
Oh, he's fantastic. He helps me with my wardrobe. He picked out my favorite blue sweater for this interview.
I suppose you're going to tell me that he also spends a lot of quality time with you?
Sure. We do stuff together.
Sure.
Tell him about all the times we have, baby.
It's fantastic. Every third Friday, me and Brayton go out and have dinner, unless he has urgent business or his beeper goes off.
Yeah, I bet that beeper goes off a lot. Now, surely you are aware of his mistress. You did bail him out of jail after he threatened to kill her.
Oh, that was blown way out of proportion. Brayton was just teaching her to drive a stick.
Poor thing, she just wanted to graduate from trucking school. I was glad to help her out.
Are you too selfless? I think tonight I should pamper you.
I'll tell tonight's not good, Sugar Biscuit. I got some urgent business. Apparently, there's a freshman over at the women's college who doesn't know how to work a toaster.
Oh, when you get home, your dinner will be near the table.
Well, that sounds pretty urgent, so I'd better let you both go. Good night.
All right.
Hi, I'm Mayor Gillahunty, and I know what you're saying. My God, Mayor Girl, we've seen you in some horrible outfits before, but this one takes the cake. What in the name of God are you wearing? Golf clothes. I'm going golfing. I'm here high atop Parliament Hill looking for a golf partner. Oh, and I must say, when you get this high, you get a bit heady. The air becomes all thin and rarefied, which would explain, I suppose, why so many MPs become dazed and confused when they get to Parliament. Anyway, here I am, done up like a stick of chewing gum, up in the centre block, looking for someone. Well, there you are, working away all by yourself. My God, it must be lonely at the top, is it? Nobody to hang around with but those old multinationals and high-priced CEOs. And no, don't waste your breath on me, Prime Minister. Please, relax, my darling. What you need, Mr. Chrétien, is a good dose of the common people. That'll straighten you right out. Donovan Bailey. He was too busy. But I'll play golf with you, Prime Minister. Golf is such a forgiving game, isn't it? Just like politics, what? You screw up and you just go, that's a mulligan, I'm going to do it again. And I'd suggest we pull an old mulligan this time. No, Prime Minister, don't speak. Your jaws must be wore out down that old House of Commons going all day long. But we'll call this one a mulligan, and we'll go into the next term, because we're definitely going to vote you back in, my darling. We'll go in with a brand new stroke, and we'll really be liberals this time. What are you working on there? Oh, my God. Another little red... Oh, my gosh. Oh, I shouldn't be looking at that. Sure, that's state secrets. I'm going to go now. I'm going to go, Mr. Chrétien, because I just got overwhelmed.
Watch out for the hirings and the furnitures and so on. You don't
just
want
overwhelmed.
the
Just hit me. Just hit me. You're the Prime Minister. Here we are, in the Prime Minister's office. But then again, I'm a Canadian taxpayer, so in a way, you work for me.
You're home.
In a way, this is my office. So, I mean, I might be the type who'd say, get out of my office. Never darken my doorstep again. But that's not the bold type I am. But I wonder, could I just sit behind the desk? I mean, would it be so bad for one of the people to sit behind the people's desk? Or just perch on the seat of power. Perched on the edge of the seat of power. Here I am.
J.B. Dixon with a message to educators across the country.
Did you know that more Canadians get their news from 22 minutes than any other news source? It's true. In fact, CTV News anchor Lloyd Robertson steals all of his news from us, as does Peter Mansbridge and the producers at CBC North. But you know, that's the way it should be. And that's why we get so many requests from teachers wishing to use 22 minutes as an educational tool in the classroom. And that's why we have developed the 22-minute curriculum guide. It includes the 22-minute motto, El Nodo Emporium. Don't let the facts get in the way of the story. Your students will learn interesting facts about the 22 Minutes News team, such as, did you know that nobody involved in 22 Minutes has a high school diploma? Not the journalists, the researchers, the producers, or the director. Everyone dropped out in grade 8. But together, we make up the most trusted news team in all of Canada. So order today, for the sake of the children.
Sponsored in part by Nosies. Party, party, party all night long.
Howdy, I'm your CW DJ Pamela. This week on Rockin' at the Rodeo, the hottest thing to hit the country western scene since Garth or Shania, it's same-sex line dancing. Men that are actually so comfortable with each other, they'll dance with each other in front of other cowboys and the nation. You're both men, right?
That's right.
And you're dancing with each other.
Very much so.
You must be very confident in your sexuality.
Yes, ma'am, and just to prove how comfy we are with our masculinity,
We'll actually dance with each other on the dance floor.
Cowboy to cowboy.
Mano a mano.
Wow, well, I guess I've seen it all. And you can too. If you tune in to this week's Rockin' at the Rodeo, special edition, same-sex line dancing. Wow!
the Christian Brothers of Newfoundland have been court-ordered to sell off all of their remaining assets in order to pay compensation to victims of sexual abuse. However, even by doing so, the brothers will still be short about $8 million of the $40 million they are required to pay out. In order to raise the funds, they have announced that they are setting up a hockey school.
Well, that's the way we saw the world last year.
For all of us here at this hour has 22 minutes. I'm Rick Mercer.
And I'm Mary Walsh.
I'm Greg Thomey.
And I'm Cathy Jones, and we'll see you next season. Good night. Good night. Good night now.
You know, I've always imagined that I'd make a stunning prime minister. Of course, that'd be difficult where I'm not a liberal, but then neither are you, and nobody seems to mind that at all.
Hang on to your head. I got a date.
Save your life! Hit the off button!
You ever done smoked marijuana?
No.
Back up, back. Budget, right budget. Okay.
Right to my face.
Butt boosters! Breast enhancers! Waist cinchers!
She can pinch my ass.
Great.
I like it.
You gotta.
What time is it?
I'm itchy now.
I'm itchy too.
I am too, boy. I'm really itchy. I'm really itchy. What? Are you itchy? Wendy, miss, they sure there's nothing to you. You're just a fart in a mist. How are you?
You said that we would talk about health first. You told me to come over here. Can you believe that? This hour has 22 minutes with all the journalism awards we've won, snubbed by the President of the United States. What a...
Do you ever feel like just screaming, just letting it all out?
I just want to know, does being on the road all the time make it hard for you? I mean, like, I don't mean anything by that. I mean, like, say if I was on the road with you, would it be hard for me? No.
Yes, ma'am, I'm with you.
You know, like, is it
I'm with you.
difficult? I got him. He didn't even run away. My knees bent.
Just a little bit, not too much. And just get ready. And move and move and move and move. And here we go.
Oh my God, that's awful. The Prime Minister was striking me. Oh, sacred heart of Mary, Jesus, and Joseph. I think I'm having a heart attack.
get rid of the little buggers. If now, the queen you save may be your own.
The tradition of great comedy continues with the Royal Canadian Air Force Video Yearbook Volume 4. Tune in and turn on to their funniest trip yet. Nobody is safe when the Air Force comes in for a laugh-filled landing. It's a 1-hour assault on your funny bone.
News on the hour. Sailor
Video Yearbook Volume 4. Available now wherever great comedy is sold.